Hi, this is Kate. Welcome to In the Studio with Kate, week 42, I believe. I'm happy to report that I think my art mojo has come back, or my inner critic has learned I've learned to deal with that a little bit better right this time of year. I think I actually have this issue every time in the summer, so it's part of my creative cycles, I guess. But excited that I got lots of things to show today. I took this little class in 21 Secrets, The Great Outdoors, and they were making cairns out of watercolor, and that's the first one I did, and it was so much fun that I did another. And I have plans to do a whole bunch more. I think that'd be fun, like as part of a greeting card or something. So those two of those. I have showed you the beginnings of this before, and I finished this collage painting. It's a case where I made the collage and then I painted it, so it does not look exactly like the collage, but because things broaden and develop as you're working on it. But anyways, this is my archetype lady. I kind of see her as pretty fierce. She's pretty full of knowledge. She's got these great animal guides helping her, and some water as well. So anyways, I really liked working on that. I love working on this paper. This is watercolor paper that I eco-dyed a little while ago. So anyways, that was for the 13 Moons class, and I started working on the next step, and I'll tell you, this is really, really, really a work in progress. But it started out, it's about bone wisdom. So I went and actually found some bones. I think the bones that I found are cow bones, but they really are sort of interesting. I mean, I don't think you'll be able to see that, but I don't know. But you see those little channels and things in there? That's kind of cool, I think, that texture. Got found a bunch of rib bones and some vertebrae bones, but bones are kind of interesting. So anyways, we're studying bone wisdom, trying to determine what that means for me. So what I ended up doing on this page, at first I drew all the bones that I had found. And like I said, and then I decided I would add ink. I added this FW acrylic ink, and although it's Payne's Gray, it doesn't seem to be like the Payne's Gray. That's paint. It doesn't seem to have that much of a blue tinge to it. It seems mostly black to me. But, and then after I did that, I put the two pages together, smushed them. The imagery was amazing. Now I'm starting to color in some of the background. I actually saw the shape of the dress, so I'm turning that into a figure. And then there's two ravens at the bottom, and the raven is my totem animal. So that was kind of cool. Where it's going to go next, maybe next week I'll have a whole lot more done. But I'm kind of thinking this is where all the bones are going to be. And this is her descending down into them to get their wisdom. So we'll see how that one works. Also on this really cool paper. Let's see. Last night, my art group met, so I just drew this little house and colored it in, pretty colorful. The house was pretty brown for my image, the image that I chose. So anyway, it was kind of fun to make it a kind of funky colored thing. Let's see. And then I'm not sure that this thing is done. I think I just stopped to let it dry. So I think I'm going to mess with her face a little bit more, and then the background some more, because it's kind of not speaking to me. But I had bought a new stencil, came in the mail, so I had tried it out. So I tried the stencil on the stencil I made her dress with. But I'm going to do a little bit more on that. But that's the beginnings of one in a old journal that just has a couple pages left to work in. And then I was on a conference call, and we were doing art in it. And so we actually pulled oracle or tarot cards and kind of took that as a starting point. And so this was the page that came out of it. It's a lot about love. It's a lot about the journey and how the paths go one way and may go a different way when you're not least expecting it. So that was really kind of fun to do. It's mostly a little teeny bit of paint, mostly oil pastel. So that was kind of fun to do. So those are the journal things. And I'm continuing my study of Klimt. So I actually have gotten this book. Got this book from Amazon. See how thick this sucker is? Look at that. It's just, it has a lot of narrative and then a lot of his paintings, more so than I think some of the smaller books that I have. The other interesting thing that is, if I can find one of them just by randomly going, some of the pages open up. Of course, now that I'm trying to find one, okay, because a lot of times you see this part of the painting, but look how big that is. You know, but a lot of the pages open up so that you can see the whole thing, which is kind of amazing. Look at that. I would love to see one of his paintings in real life. I have since learned that, what is it, the Portrait of Adele, Block, what's their last name? Block something. Seeing either that one or seeing The Kiss would be pretty famous painting. In fact, I just watched the movie Woman in Gold, about the story about the painting and its ownership and how it was stolen during World War II. It's a great movie with Helen Mirren. It's not so much about Klimt, but it's so much about this painting, which for some odd reason I'm having a hard time finding it in this book. It's in here. It's just this book is so big. I'd be better off pulling one of the other books, but they're kind of a ways away from me. But anyways, it's the one that's all in gold. It's a woman. Her name was Adele Block. I'm trying to say Block-Bauer, but I don't think that's right. But anyways, I've heard after watching the movie that the painting is in a gallery in New York. So someday I'm going to have to go to New York and see that painting. I don't know when or how or whatever, but anyways. Enough. I've decided, here's what I've decided to do about Klimt. I've taken a bunch of these master's classes where you study a little artist, but you know, they're doing it in a week or 2 weeks or something. And I've got all these great books and I want to spend time reading them and studying his work and, you know, really immersing myself in immersing myself in the artist and his work, because not all of it, the most common paintings are not the whole story. I mean, he did a lot of line drawings, charcoal, things like that. And then some of his influences were Egyptian art and mosaic art, and you can see that in his work. And so I might be talking about Klimt all year. I'm decided I'm going to take the basis of this class with Ivy to broaden it to, you know, a lot of detail for my own self. So in that vein, I went to Michael's and I found all these gold papers. They had their gold papers on sale. A lot of them were quite pretty to use in a background. And then this one's pretty cool, I thought. I did not realize this till I got it home, because it was wrapped in cellophane with paper behind it, but it is actually vellum paper, so you can see through it. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. But Lots of cool patterns. I thought that this one was pretty. And if you can't get to something like Paper Source, Michael's is your next best choice. So I've got some cool papers to go with the ones I already have once I get started on that project. The other thing I wanted to share is the Blackwing pencils. Okay. In that class, Ivy was drawing with them, and here's a funny story. I was, I went and looked at them, and I was at the Blackwing site, and it wasn't real clear, but they were $21.95. I thought $21.95 for a pencil? I like getting good art supplies, but that's a lot of money, I think. And then when I posted it in the group, I discovered that they weren't $21.95 pencil. They were $29.95 for a box of pencils. So I actually got on the Blackwing website and I ordered the pencils. And then I realized they had an erase. I realized they had a pencil sharpener, but Amazon wanted a heck of a lot of money for it. Blackwing only wanted like $7.50 for it. Amazon wanted $11. I'm going, no, I don't think so. Anyway, sometimes when I get a new supply, the pencil sharpener is really nice to have because it is really made for that pencil. Or because sometimes they're, I have these big woody Stabilos, and you really need their pencil sharpener to sharpen those things. Anyways, the pencils come with their own erasers that can be replaced. This little piece comes right out. The feeling of the wood is just really smooth. I feel it's great. And you get a range with the pencil from very light marks to very black. Probably the blackest marks I've seen it sometimes. So I'm just going to do something light. And then I'm going to show you just by pressing a little bit darker how dark that is. So the pencils are really, really nice. But anyways, after I'd ordered them, I thought I should have got the pencil sharpener. So I called them up, and they said, sure, we'll add the pencil sharpener. Then it turns out that they couldn't add it with my package, so they ended it separately. But then they did charge me for the pencil sharpener, so it was really nice. They sent me a handwritten note, and it, like the whole thing was, they sent me this nice little card with a note from the guy I had talked to on the back, and it's just like customer service. I would order these from Amazon. I mean, from the company rather than Amazon any day. And the thing that's cool about the the pencil sharpeners, let me open it. And get the pencil shavings out of there before I do this. But, it has the pencil sharpener inside, okay? And it has 2 holes. And the 2 holes are for, one is to sharpen the wood. The other one is to sharpen the lead. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it's a neat little pencil. But if you like to draw, I recommend trying them out. They're pretty neat. You do have to buy 12, unfortunately. They only come like that. They make a bunch of different kinds. This is just the plain Blackwing. They make different pencils for different uses. But they're one of those companies like the Moleskine that went out of business and then somebody else took them over and that kind of thing. And so it's kind of cool. So I really like them, so I wanted to share them with you. Blackwing.com, I believe they are. So anyways, that's what I have to share. Lots of activity going on in my studio this week. It feels good to be doing art and not be thinking about doing art or lamenting why I'm not doing art. So if you find yourself in that place where you're frustrated because you're not doing your own art, just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can just work your way through it. Try to flow through it as best as you can. All of a sudden you're going down to your studio and you're not lamenting anything. You're actually making all sorts of stuff. So with that, I'm going to leave you till next week. I hope you're all making wonderful things in your studio, and please let me know about them if you are. Leave me a comment, tag me on social media. I'd love to see what you're doing. Okay, till next week. Bye-bye.